Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of Wishmaster. It's a horror. It came out in 1997. It's an 18. It's an hour and 26 minutes. Amazon has 4.2 out of 5. IMDb is 5.8 out of 10. I'll read both of the synopsises. So IMDb one is a demonic jinn, D-J-I-N-N, attempts to grant its owner 3 wishes, which will allow him to summon his brethren to Earth. And Amazon is, from executive producer Wes Craven comes this fantasy horror cult classic that spawned 3 sequels. Guess what I'm going to be reviewing soon. When a jewellery appraiser is given an ancient gem, she unwittingly unleashes an immortal spirit that grants human wishes in exchange for their souls. So the director is Robert Kurtzman, who directed The Rage. Producers, well, there's 7 of them, but with producer on we have Pierre David, who did Scanners, awesome film, and Noel A. Zanich, Z-A-N-I-T-S-C-H, who produced Marked Man, and music was by Harry Manfredini, who did the music for Friday the 13th, and I also think he did the music for Pink Panther. The cast, we have Chris Lemmon, who was Nick Merritt, who was in Firehead, Robert Englund, who was Raymond Beaumont, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street, that's Freddy Krueger by the way, Tammy Lauren, who was Alexandra Amberson, who was in the series Homefront, Wendy Benson-Landes, L-A-N-D-E-S, who was Shannon Amberson, who was in Still Breathing, and Andrew Divoff, D-I-V-O-F-F, who was the Jinn, who was in Toy Soldiers. It was filmed in Wilmington, Los Angeles, California, USA, and it's also known as Wes Craven's Wishmaster. So even though he didn't actually direct it, it's still down as his name. So it starts with the table, loads of things like goblets, spices, some red liquid in the glass, some dude mixing in a pestle and mortar. Then I realised it's a glass ring that he's actually producing. It's just like, okay. Now it seems this, like I say, I don't read the synopsis, as I've said before I watch these films. I mean, I do originally at the beginning, but not when I get around to watching them, which is like months later. So it seems that a jinn is a bad creature. You get these 3 wishes, and after the 3rd, he releases hell on earth. So we're at about 11:27. Where some lucky soul is having his wishes. It's not going very well at all. it's not like the, yes, I want a pot of gold, here's a pot of gold for you. It's not like that. It's pretty, special effects are great so far. I'm loving the way that a skeleton appeared. This is like the 80s. This is also, not 90s, sorry. America, present day. No location, so it's perfect. So no one has to get it completely right. Sometimes they say Washington today, or Paris today, or wherever it is, or Wilmington today, or something, but they didn't have to. They just said America, so it could be anywhere. Well, we know where it was recorded, but there you go. Well, I was about to say that Raimi, the actor, who's well known in the horror areas, was in the film, but he wasn't around long enough. It's just like, oh, there he are. No, he's not. You'll see when you watch the film. I think it's in the trailer. I can't remember. Now, there's a good tip if you're an aspiring basketball player. When you're shooting for the hoop, aim for stillness in your mind. Stillness in your mind when you shoot for the hoop. Now, I don't know. I've never played basketball myself, or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure when you're running around like a nutter on the court, I think they call it, that your mind is completely still, and you're at one with peace. Not what I've seen on TV, but there you go. Oh, I love the thermal imaging software. All right, we've come a long way. When you see the software, it's like, what the hell is that? It's like, yeah, this is thermal imaging. It's like, yeah, it's a lot better than that. You can tell that back then they didn't really get editing right. So we started a new scene right outside this shop. So on the right hand side is where the person's going to come in, our main guy, and on the left is this guy just sort of loitering there, and he's kind of waiting for his cue, and then he kind of like just starts walking. He's just standing there, and then he like starts to walk towards him. So it's like, yeah, and action, right? Let's go. It's just so funny to see. It's like the famous, the boops or what they call them. So it seems that our Wishmaster isn't just, let's call them awesome, granting wishes to only the one person. Because I thought, oh, when she gets this genie, then that's going to be just for that person or him or whatever. But it's not. This homeless dude was great. I tried to find his name, but I couldn't find him. But it was in They Live. But he was very good in They Live. So yeah, if you've not seen that, that's a John Carpenter film. They Live, awesome film. Get it, watch it. So I love his wishes, right? It's not him, it's the Jinn. He can't grant wishes. He can grant wishes, but he can't tell them what the wishes are as such. He can ask them, sort of suggest them, and then they ask for them. That sort of thing. So he's at this clothes shop, right? As a human, I won't say how he got his new face, but he's speaking to this assistant, saying that she's beautiful, but it'll fade, over the years. And she's completely stunned and said, "Well, that's life, isn't it? Fade, they fade." And he says, "It doesn't. As beauty can live forever. So why don't you wish for beauty, to be beautiful forever?" So she's like, "Okay, yeah, sure, yeah, I wish to be beautiful forever." So she does, and then she's literally frozen in the corner like a mannequin. So this woman's walking in because she stood at the till doing this thing, and then he buggers off. We don't see much. Then a few seconds later, she sees all the woman coming in looking for somebody to help her with the dress. Turns around, looks at the kiosk. There's no one there except for our assistant standing there, plastic as it were, as a mannequin. It's like, that's cool. It kind of reminds me of a Warlock 2, the Armageddon. That's similar to that sort of stuff. So our guy, our Jin guy, is asking Alex for a wish, anything she wants. And she says, "What happens if I wish you dead?" And he went, "Why, how remarkable original." And I thought, yeah, I've got a feeling everyone probably said, "I wish you were dead." Yeah. And it says here that which is eternal can't die. And I thought, yeah, that's true. Like all good, real demon-y type things. We all say, "Oh, well, let's just kill the demon by chopping his head off." Or it's like a demon. It's like, well, they've lived around for like millions of years. I'm pretty sure a gunshot or chopping the head off ain't going to do much. I must admit, when she's driving the wrong way towards traffic, she's pretty good at driving. I mean, it's fantastic watching her just skipping through all these cars coming towards her. I mean, I try it on Need for Speed and I'm all over the bloody place. Crashing into cars, barriers, police cars, walls, water. England. As in England, not England, the country. Although, of course, yeah, England. Yeah. He loves to host a party, but he wants one to be remembered for centuries. And so begins hell. Just like at the very beginning of the film, it's like, "Oh yeah," and he says, "Oh yes, you want a party that will be remembered," because he remembered a party that some dude who remembered back in the history days because he likes history. But yeah. Oh, we have another editing mistake. I had to watch this a couple of times to see if my eyeballs were deceiving me, but it wasn't. So, some glass is shattered, right? I'm not explaining how, but it was shattered. And then this dude who's standing there has half his face ripped off, as in tendons underneath, right? Before the glass hits. So, it's literally a case he's standing there, a few seconds, then the glass hits him, we sort of move somewhere, and we come back, and he's screaming on the floor with his face removed, as it were. But it was literally a case of it should have been fine before the glass hit. It was just a typical editing mistake. It's like, yeah. It's quite nice. I've never not seen that in the film before. I love the party at the end. Special effects throughout the film were great. They were the typical old school stuff, no CGI crap. And the end credits song is good. Listen to the Heart by Motorhead. I'm going to try and find that song. I like some Motorhead stuff, so there we go. It's an 8 for me. I'm going high with that one. I loved it. You know, some people don't like this kind of stuff, but I do. I thought it was good fun. Anyway, hopefully if you enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of Wishmaster, please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of the film reviews, quite a lot of horrors to say the least. I do a lot of gaming, obviously, as my main thing, but films I'm branching out a little bit now and then, so you might find something you find interesting. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.